it yet? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about weight loss. And if you have any questions, then I want you to shoot them my way. I want to do this at least once a month where I go live on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, and I put it out there with the goal of sharing information that can help people. So let's start off. If you can hear me well, if you're there, go to the comment area and say, hi, Robert, what's going on? And if you have seen Coming to America Part 2, let me know because I'm watching it tonight. I was going to watch it last night, but my daughters, I wasn't able to get them with me. So tonight I have them and I want to force them kind of to watch this show. So we're going to do that. All right. What's up, Monique from Canada? Okay. We have Charles from Australia that's tuning in. I mean, I love this. This is good. Okay. Let's get started. And the goal is for you to walk away with clarity about losing weight. Maybe learn something new that you hadn't heard before, that you can apply and benefit from. The take home is that you gain additional knowledge that you can take and run with. The way I like to look at these types of lives and what my goal is to help you maximize becoming a consumer professional, a prosumer, basically. So what is a prosumer? A prosumer, I'll give you an example, is a client of mine years ago. I was training her. So I was her personal trainer. And then I became her nutritionist. And she was getting great results. And then she saw that I had a certification where she could become a nutritionist and a weight loss coach. And she says, hey, I want to take your certification. I told her what it costs, what's involved. And I said, hey, so you're going to be a nutritionist? You're going to start helping people? She goes, no, I want to know what you know. And after she became certified with us and learned the Diet Free Life methodology, she went and became certified as a personal trainer with an organization called AFA. Then she got another certification with NASM. And I go, so you have all of this knowledge, but yet you don't want to make it a profession? She said, no, it's for me. I want to know what you know. And if there's a way to do that, then great. Then when I'm training myself or when I'm eating with that knowledge and understanding. And that's what I call a prosumer. So there's a lot of people who don't want to get into the business of, say, becoming a nutritionist and a weight loss coach, but they want to know everything that a nutritionist and a weight loss coach knows. And they can then use it for themselves. And I believe that this lady who I was training, her name is April, she was just all about knowledge. She loved that. And it helped her stay on track and continue to thrive and live her best and healthiest life. Right. So there you have it. And, the flip side of all of that is that you have those trainers who are really being battled. They battle with their weight. And if you look around and been around long enough, just because you're a personal trainer and just because you're a dietitian or a nutritionist does not mean that you're going to be lean. Does not mean that you're going to look like the epitome of Mr. or Mrs. Fitness. Everyone has a unique shape. Everyone's working with different genetics. Everyone is walking their own path, going through their own journey. I never judge a book by the cover because you just never know. So nutritionists, fitness people, we all come in different sizes and shapes, but because we care and we really love helping people, then we're able to help people. Okay. That being said, if you have specific questions about weight loss, bring it my way, because the one that I'm going to share with you is a question that keeps coming up. I did a post where I talked about everyone having a set point and how to break the set point. And I got a whole bunch of questions. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a live. And that's the one thing I'm going to 100% share information about, is how to work through plateaus, how to work through those challenges of when you're losing weight, but then you hit that wall and you can't continue to lose the weight and nothing seems to be working for you. I mean, so that's a pretty powerful question. And it's not an easy answer. However, I believe that I'm going to share some insight that can be helpful to anyone who's catching this. Okay. Um, Now, I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. It's great. I'm happy about it. Not the coffee, but the fact that I was able to walk into Coffee Bean and it felt kind of normal. I mean, everybody had a mask on. You still couldn't sit down inside, but it did feel pretty good to walk in and get a coffee and now drink it and enjoy it. Okay. So I guess there's no additional questions coming in. Everybody wants the answer to what I just put out there. Okay. So let's go to it. So first, to answer this and for it to make sense, let's look at what they call a set point theory. The thought behind this is that every person has a set point when it comes to their weight. Now, it's a theory because there's no scientific evidence that confirms it to be a fact. However, most endocrinologists, fitness trainers, nutritionists, anybody in the space of weight loss, for the most part, we all agree, I'm included, that there is a set point. And the set point, just to give you clarity on your side, for instance, is your weight can vary up, down, 1 to 3, sometimes 4 pounds. But your body fights to stay at that weight. Now, if you constantly are pushing, that means consuming more food, not as active as you once were, and the weight goes up, let's say it goes from 180 to 185 after a year or maybe 2 years, now that's your new set point, right? Next thing you know, 3 years goes by, 5 years goes by, and now it's 190. And now that's your set point. And then you're trying to lose weight and your body's doing everything it can to pull you back to that 190. But you really want to get down to 180, but it's really pulling you back. It seems like 190 is the weight that you're going to be at. And then you have those moments where you kind of over consume food right over the weekend or maybe at an event and you just feel bloated, but you get on the scale and to your surprise, you're still 190. That's a set point. Okay. Now, understanding that we all have one, and yes, it's easier to establish a new set point going up in weight than it is to get a new set point going down. It helps to understand what happens when you lose weight. Okay. So when you lose weight, okay, think about this. Actually, I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a woman that weighs 300 pounds. And this woman, we put her on 1,000 calories a day. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, that's not eating much. 1,000 calories is like, that's medical supervision. But I want to make a point. So 300 pounds, she eats 1,000 calories a day. We know it's 1,000 calories because we got her locked inside of a room and she can only eat what we give her. She can't exercise. Will she lose weight? The answer is yes. She's going to lose weight that first week, 100%. Now, is there a rare situation where she may not? But she's going to lose weight, 1,000 calories. That's not eating much. Now, the big question is she going to lose weight every week for the next 52 weeks? And the answer is no. Her metabolism is going to slow because she's not consuming as much food. You've probably heard someone say you go into fat storage mode or your body starts to go into survival and it slows down and is not processing energy, as well as the nutrients aren't being delivered the way they would normally be because you're not in homeostasis, you're out of balance. So the reality is, yes, your metabolism will slow. Is there damage that takes place? Yes, a lot of damage takes place. You're eating, like I'll never forget, Gloria T. She was eating 800 calories a day and she couldn't lose any more weight. Her weight loss had just come to a halt. Scientifically, we know this. There's been many, many studies in the past. It's very clear that the metabolism slows, meaning you burn fewer calories. Your body acclimates, it adjusts because it does want to survive. It thinks that there's no food coming. So it slows down. Everything slows. So you will hit those kind of plateaus. So we know we have a set point. We know that eventually the weight loss comes to a halt. So what do you do then? What do you do? I love stories. I was working with this professional boxer and I had helped him quite a few times lose a significant amount of weight to get down to a weight so he can make the big bucks. Now, most people, when I bring up the fact that it's a professional boxer, their mind goes right to the fact that, oh, well, he's probably working out really hard. And that's no. This person is not that. They still run into plateaus. That's why you see a lot of boxers that don't make the weight. They lose their title belts. The same thing happens with Ultimate Fighters. They don't make the weight. They lose their title belt. They get fined. It works the same for grandma as it does for them. You got to do this right. And I've never, ever worked with a professional athlete that did not make the weight that we said we would make. So they never lost the big bucks. They were never fined. Okay. But my point is I'm using this athlete to bring home the point that I want you to get, and then give you some nuggets on how you can avoid this happening to you. So this boxer I had worked with many times, well, they let me go, and I was no longer working with this boxer. Don't want to go into details. So I'm off on vacation, and I'm watching on HBO, and I'm seeing the big fight coming up. And what they did is they went and hired a dietitian to replace me. And because the dietitian wasn't a fitness person, they went and got a fitness professional to replace me. So now they got two people helping when it was just me. Not a problem. Yes, I missed it. I was watching from a distance. I watched them go into camp, and I'm hearing all the news that everything is going great. This person was a little over 200 pounds. They had to get down to 154 pounds. So at 183 pounds, they were no longer losing weight. The weight loss had come to a halt. They had hit a big wall, and they had 24 days to go. Okay, 24 days to go. He's at 183 pounds, 24 days to go before he has to weigh in at 154 pounds, and nothing was working. He was down to almost eating no carbs, 3 ounces of protein at a time, working out 2 times, 3 times a day, and the weight is not coming off. It is not moving. So I get a phone call. I'll never forget. I was up in Whistler, Canada, having a great time, enjoying, just having a blast. And the phone call was from someone from the staff. And the call was, "Hey, how you doing?" And I go, "Hey, how are you guys doing?" I said, "Everything looks like he is going well. So how can I help you?" And they said, "Would you consider coming back?" I go, "What do you mean coming back?" "Well, the nutritionist, dietitian that we hired is not working. The weight has come to a halt. And, the fighter, felt that there's no way that I would come back." I said, "Yeah, I would come back, but you got to pay me what you would have paid me if I was part of the whole camp." And they agreed. The first thing that I recommended, we got on the phone, and I said, "Okay, I'm flying back tomorrow, but what I need you to do is to go and eat like double the protein." I threw in some what we call fast carbs, pasta, potatoes, stuff like that. Kept the veggies in there. And the first thing they said when I mentioned this over the phone was, "Dude, are you crazy?" Now they know my work. They know what I do. I go, no, I'm not crazy. I said, we're at 183 pounds. We got to get down to 154 pounds. Your weight loss has come to a halt. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. It's called a boost meal. And they go, "Boost meal?" I said, "I'll explain it when I get back." Well, long story short, I had them eat more when the weight was not coming off. Now, this could be scary for people, but when you're working with a coach, you go with the play. I'm the coach. So trust in what I'm saying here. And I get it. They were nervous. They were concerned. They ate the food. I gave them the rest of the menu. I fly back the next day, and fast forward, we got down to 154 pounds. He weighed in and made some serious money. So eating more sometimes is how you lose more weight, not eating less. In the last 30 days, I have worked with quite a few women, and some were not far from getting to their goal, but they just couldn't get there. One lady had lost 3 pounds in a year, and we surpassed that in the first 7 days. Why? Because we ate more. Now, I have something I can cheat with. It's called the Carb Threshold Index. because I can look at how her body best metabolizes carbs. And carbs is the big culprit. Now, it's not avoiding carbs because she wasn't eating many carbs. She was like this fighter that I was working with. So the first thing was, I want you to eat more carbs. And she goes, okay, I trust you. I think okay. And she did it. Boom. I have another client who I give a shout out to, who I'm just really having a blast working with. Knows a lot about nutrition. Again, I would consider this person a prosumer. And, she came on board. She's eating so much more than she had ever eaten. I forgot what she said this morning. She said it's been years since she's eaten not just more, but foods that she's been shying away from. But Robert, I'm down. So her weight goes down, her body fat goes down. And this is a pretty small lady. So, she's like 10, 15 pounds from where she would like to be. And she dropped 2.5 inches in her waist in the first week. I said, did you measure correctly? She goes, yes, I did. Unbelievable. She goes, I guess I was bloated or something. I go, I'm just keep measuring the same way because you're going to continue to see the same outcome. And that's because her gut bacteria, her microbiome is getting healthier. So the inflammation and bloating goes down. It's just a matter of doing it, but not just doing it, but doing it right. There's a lot of people who want to lose weight and they diet, but they're not doing it right. And it hurts my heart because I know that they want to live their best and healthiest life. And when they aren't doing it right, and yes, I believe that what we do is right. Are there other right ways? Yeah, I've seen other right ways. There's people who it just works out for them and they're not doing anything that's negative. So I would say that's a right way. But there's a lot of ways that you can lose weight. There are right ways and not so right. When someone's doing low carb, and I know the data's in that says it increases mortality, I wouldn't say that's the right way. If someone is avoiding gluten, but they don't have celiac disease, I'm not going to say that's the right way, because we know that there's more damage that's taking place for most people who don't have celiac disease, but they avoid gluten, because you're walking away from some resistant starch that you would normally consume that would be good for your microbiome, your gut bacteria. You're avoiding that barley, and some of these grains there's a lot of benefits that come with these grains. We know that people who eat less than that, through meta-analysis, we know that those people also run risks of a lot of negative things. So there is a right way, and that's why you go to someone who's an expert, or you find someone who's just speaking the truth to you, and you rock and roll. So you break plateaus by eating more. And the last one, I have this hardcore vegan client, and I hope she gets this because she's amazing. I'm so impressed with her. In less than 30 days, she's eating nothing but carbohydrates. She throws in some fat, but it's all carbs. And she was having a challenge dropping some weight. She was like, okay, Robert, I'm going to trust you on this. I said, look, sometimes you got to eat more. It goes against most things that people get. And she does it, but it's with structure. And this woman, not only is she down 8 pounds in like 20 something days as a vegan, and she's not, I mean, it's like when you look at someone, like, you may be thinking, okay, well, is she 300 pounds? No, this woman's like 153 pounds. Okay. And her goal is to get down to around 135. And she drops 8 pounds in 3 weeks. And more importantly, she drops 3.5 inches off her waist. I said, do you see that? She goes, oh, I just give you the numbers. I go, look at your numbers. Your waist is down 3.5 inches. You took that measurement the same each and every time. Your glucose numbers are down like 15 points. You took those numbers. So are you going to eat less for the rest of your life? Or are you going to enjoy the way you're eating? She goes, I'm going to enjoy the way I'm eating. And then I said, look, you may need to change as you live longer, because the way you are now, who you are now, in your 40s, you're going to be different in your 60s. You will always make little changes, but she gets the point. She had been eating too few calories throughout the day, and that halted her weight loss. And now she's eating more and all carbs. She's not eating anything processed. She's not even eating meatless food that you can buy in a package. She's eating all carbs. So sometimes the take home is to eat more. Now, the best approach is to work with a coach. If it's not me, we have coaches that can help you and make sure that everything works out to your benefit. All right. So the word for today is more, not less. The other word for the weekend is be smart, not. What's the opposite of that? I don't know. Anyway, you guys have a great weekend. God bless you. And watch Coming to America Part 2. I'm watching it tonight, and I can't wait to share my thoughts about it because it was a movie that I just loved as a youngster. And I'm excited to see what they do in Part 2. Did they come through? Is the sequel going to be as good as the first one? My gut says yes, but we'll see. Anyway, you guys have a good one. If you have questions, reach out to us. Shoot in an email. It's either me or my assistant or someone from our team will respond, and we will guide you in the right direction to help you get the outcomes that you're looking for. All right? You guys have a good one. What's up?